Good evening. I am still going through the different lists for BYG, and I have gotten to Daniel Lindblom. Daniel is an old friend of mine whom I lured into playing Bolt Action. We have been playing Infinity together, and we've also been playing role-playing games and different stuff. So he's really an old friend, and I thought that he might enjoy this and be good at it. So me and Michael, we trained him up, intending for him to beat us. He hasn't quite gotten there yet, but he is definitely getting better and getting very close to it. Now, Daniel is bringing a 14 order dice, 1000 points list for BYG. He is going with the US reinforced, and he has a dual platoon. And I'll walk you through the different things and talk to you a little bit about what he plans on doing with them, because I have been sparring with him quite often, so I know a lot of his ideas for this list. Not that I'll give away his plans, because they often surprise me anyway, so yeah. He is bringing second lieutenants, the inexperienced version, the cheapest ones, the SMG dual shot, one man, inexperienced, 35 points. And then he has engineer squads. He has, let's see, 1, 2, 3. He has 3 engineer squads with flamethrowers. One of them has a bar as well, because he had the points. These engineers are designed to be better flamer teams, because as Americans you can get them regular, which means you can get them for 75 points for 5 men. That is really good, because they are more survivable than a flamer team, and that they are cheap, and they can go in and dodge quite easily and be used in exactly the same way as a flamer team, just as a more survivable one, with extra rifles and all that, right? So that really works well for a barbecue list. And he has 3 of these distributed across the 2 platoons. Then he is also bringing his his Marine squad. And this is a bit of an odd one, because normally he would bring a veteran Marine squad, but he's taking regulars this time. I don't think he had the points to spare. But quite often he'll take Marines, he'll make them tough fighter, he'll give them, they have stubborn, he'll give them bars and stuff, and then use them as a bullet magnet. I'm thinking that maybe he'll do a bit of the same with this unit, because he has 3 BARs in the unit, which gives him quite a long range and a good survivability against snipers. He's also got 1 SMG in the unit and 3 pistols, so there's a lot of tough fighter models here, and there's a lot of range. I think he's going to use this unit as an anchor unit, something that the rest of his army can sort of like move around and use as their main anchor, yes, as a battle line. That is the unit to use for that. He's got snipers, and I think he has 2 snipers, both of them veteran, to make them more survivable. And I think this is overkill, Daniel. Since you have 2 snipers, making them veteran, is that really necessary? You will win sniper duels against most veteran snipers anyway, because you got 2 snipers, right? So you're shooting twice as much. You could have saved some points there. Maybe made your Marines veteran if you wanted. But we'll see. They are very survivable, and they are good for going down on objectives. They're really hard to shift. So yeah, veteran snipers, it's a thing, boys. Daniel also is really much in love with the Marine Corps War Dog, which I've not really understood yet. It's the main thing it does is sniff out people who are hidden, right? That it's better to spot hidden units. But is that really that important? It is a cheap dice, and it's veteran, and you can put a submachine gun on it. So like it's one dude running up with a submachine gun, veteran and tough fighter, and so you can do different things with it. It's just not very much, is it? So And then comes one of the things that Daniel loves to do. He likes those heavy American tanks, running them as veterans. Because what that does is it gives the tank the gyro stabilizer, meaning that it can sort of move and fire like infantry with its main gun. It does not get -1 to shoot with that main gun. That is really good, because that tank will, if you're in the open, it's shooting you on 3+, even though it has moved up to shoot you, right? So it makes it more liable to hit, and it does have a 2-inch template, so it can hit a lot of guys, or it has 5+ because it is a medium anti-tank gun. So it can also really hunt armor, right? It is a bit vulnerable. It has thin sides, which is, yeah, it is a threat if you move up too far. But using it on the back line to kill stuff from there, especially since you have 60-inch range on your main gun, yeah, that's a good tank. In the second platoon, he also has a bazooka team and 2 Dodgers for his engineers. And finally, the final thing is that he buffs out the list with a Darker Steward. Inexperienced. So yeah, it pumps out a lot of shots, but remember, it does so at a -1. I would rather move the Sherman down to regular and then move the Steward up to regular as well. I think an inexperienced Steward is too vulnerable. Maybe. We'll see. Because it is a lot of shots, and it does do what the Steward normally does: pump out all those shots, make units go down. We'll see. It's an interesting experiment, right? And I think this is an experimental list in that regard. Again, as I told you, Daniel often surprises me. Right. So, yeah, that's it. Cheers.